Welcome to the Bank First Ranger Hour. Super Talk Mississippi 93.7 Spotlight on Northwest Community College. And you can listen to our live stream at supertalknorthms.com. Just click on the link for the Bank First Ranger Hour. Now, here's your host, Gary Darby.
Well, I am here on this Thursday. I'm very glad you are in attendance for this program we call North Mississippi Spotlight between 9 and 10. And then on Thursdays, we discuss Northwest Community College. As you heard, it's brought to us by Bank First. So the Bank First Ranger Hour it is. A Thursday, a December 18, 2025. 1 week from today, Christmas. We know that, so the Christmas break is coming up for Northwest Community College. We'll talk a little bit in the education world today. First with Kristin Davis, who is Associate Vice President of Academic Instruction at Northwest. We're going to talk things in the classroom. We're going to talk Phi Theta Kappa. We've got different things that we'll bring up during our time spent with Kristin Davis. And then after that, it is Dr. Suzanne Strehle, who's District Director of Early College Programs. Dual enrollment discussion. Some great things going on with Northwest Community College and our high schools in this North Mississippi area. Hopefully yours, where your child attends, is locked into these things too with Northwest, because the dual enrollment gives your child, not only as they are going to high school and graduating there, the opportunity to have an associate's degree before they get out of high school. So it is an amazing thing that Northwest is doing, and we'll get some details on that in our program. And then before we're done, a couple of items off the Northwest sports world. We'll give a shout out to the rodeo coach, Will Loomis, for the individual things he ended up doing in the national rodeo world. And basketball finished up their pre-Christmas schedule. We'll tell you how that has gone for Coach Williams and the women's basketball team, Coach Redmond and the guys, and then we'll be done. This is the Bank First Ranger Hour, and we're going to get on into it. Got a couple of guests to get to, so we're going to run right in, and we'll bring in Kristin Davis next.
This hour is everything Northwest. Your connection to Northwest Mississippi Community College and powered by Bank First. Thanks for joining us on the Bank First Ranger Hour. Join the conversation now by texting 662-426-1093.
It is yet another Bank First Ranger Hour, the Thursday edition of North Mississippi Spotlight. You know me. I'm Gary Darby. We're going to introduce you to someone new, though, and that's the let me get this correct, Associate Vice President of Instruction at Northwest, Kristin Davis. I butchered that a little bit, didn't I? Is that close to your title?
You're very close. Associate Vice President of Academic Instruction.
Academic
so my
instruction.
role is, all over all the academic side of the institution.
All right, so we welcome you to the program number one, first visit for you. So let's get some background info, kind of where you're from, how you got to Northwest sort of deal.
Absolutely. Well, I am a Senatobia born and bred. I went to Senatobia High School, and I even attended Northwest. It's been a while, but I attended here as well. And went to University of Memphis, and then worked at University of Memphis for a couple of years, and then came to Northwest, and I've been here for 21 years. This is my 21st year of being here at Northwest. So I've worked on the career technical side of instruction. I've worked on the academic side of instruction. So, I was kidding with my kid the other day, and he was like, "I'm a jack of all trades." And I said, that's kind of what I would say about me here, too.
It's a good thing. I like it when I get these, tidbits of information from Dr. Andrew Dale. He sets up our guests. He tells me, what we're doing, the direction, and then kind of gives us some, quote, topics or bullet points, if you will, to get ready. And I love the first one. You can talk about anything related to classroom work. Is that true?
Well, I don't know about anything, but probably pretty close.
So, what do you think he means by that? You could talk with us about programs and classes and things, and I know we've got things that we're getting ready to discuss for January.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I think what he meant is I could talk about the size of our classrooms, that they're, for a student coming from high school to be in a smaller classroom size of, 20 to 30 students, your instructors get to know who you are. And, I always encourage students to speak with instructors because that's the lifeline of our institution. And, knowing not only what their, topic is, but, being mentored by some of our faculty is really a great opportunity for our students here. I can talk about in academics, we have 6 different departments, so we have everything from, obviously English and math, but, some of our, upper level psychology courses like child psychology or, even in our science area, most people take principles of biology, but, obviously those going into health-related fields are interested in doing A&P or maybe a microbiology course. So, yeah, I guess I can run the gamut of information related to coursework.
To your point, and I make fun of myself a lot. It was not the best policy, but I didn't make a lot of classes in my time at Northwest off and on, fully admit that. But as you mentioned, the classroom sizes and those that work and teach there, those that did see my face, we're still kind of connected, and I can still, they recognize me to this day. And it's been a lot longer than I would like to admit. But the fact that you do have, the attention of whatever person it might be and whatever major it might be. I think one of the things that I've always liked about Northwest is you remain family if you walk through someone's classroom.
Absolutely. And we love to see the success stories of our students because the truth is they're all success stories. Whether they're, working in our communities or they go on to higher degrees. I think I agree with you. Clearly me too, because I attended and here I am working here
Right.
and have for many years. So I think there's something to be said for that. And I think one of the things I love about sharing about what we do is that no matter what your major degree path or, ideas for the future may be as a student, we can help you get there. You got to get started somewhere. And, a lot of the base coursework or your core courses we're going to offer here and hopefully get the individuals or students where they need to go from here.
A lot of academic institutions don't have the, let's just say, student growth that Northwest continues to have. Don't you feel like what we're discussing right here is the big portion of why word of mouth gets out? Hey, I went there. It was so great for me. This advisor is there, or this professor was there, or whatever. And that's why Northwest continues to grow and be the great place that it is.
I would say so. I think so. Like you mentioned, it's making a connection a lot of times, whether it's with, other students or with a faculty or even with administration.
Sure.
I mean, we're pretty available to our students. And so I think that means a lot. So when they have challenges, because, gosh, all of our students have families and have other responsibilities or work, and so that we're able to help them, in that process. I would agree. I think that's one of the reasons why we continue to see some growth at our institution, and we're getting them somewhere. Whether my side of the house is academics, which is typically for those who are going to be transferring on to a university, but they still need, those 6 academic courses if they're going to do a career technical program or even health sciences. So I think we've seen a lot of growth in those areas for sure.
Talking with Kristen, and in the second portion of our discussion, I want you to lead us a little bit into Phi Theta Kappa. We've talked about them with different people along the way, but if you will, explain again the those that might be interested in Phi Theta Kappa, what it means to a student at Northwest, or truthfully anywhere afterwards as well?
Sure. Well, I've had the pleasure of being involved with Phi Theta Kappa. When I moved over to be a full-time faculty member, I became an advisor for PTK. And what we're looking for, eligible students, we determine eligible students each fall and spring semester. And who qualifies is a student who has at least 12 hours of transferable coursework, and they have a minimum GPA of 3.5. And so it's a really great opportunity while they're here at Northwest to be involved in a service aspect. Not only is it an academic honor, but we also do service projects for the community and our school. And then on top of that, once a student gets ready to graduate and move on to that next university, those universities offer specific scholarships based on their membership in Phi Theta Kappa. And so it can be very financially beneficial to a student when you look at some of our public universities here in Mississippi. It can cover almost, a full tuition for them. So it is very advantageous. Even as a parent, I want my student, not only to have good grades, but to know that they could potentially earn a scholarship just by having a GPA. That makes them, it's very competitive. And so I think that is one of the biggest benefits for students, is not only a continued, growth of them as a student with leadership and service for our community, it also helps them academically in that next step.
I brag on the students that are with me on this program that I'm given from time to time for a lot of different reasons. But those that have joined me that are members, and this is several years worth of doing the show now at Phi Theta Kappa, the heads on those shoulders are tremendous. They're loaded. They know what they want to do. And then, as you just mentioned, financially, I've had some of them tell me they made money by going to college and just being involved in this honor society.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And they are some fantastic students. They tend to be really involved, and I love that we can offer them the ability to speak to, being involved. I think it goes a long way when students are able to recruit other students. And so absolutely, I love that. And one of my favorite things to do with the students in Phi Theta Kappa is I love watching the show Ted Lasso. And so we talk about, being, what are some characteristics of being a good leader, and, being humble about those things, and but also finding humor in what we do. And so we have fun talking about that.
Excellent. So for parents that are listening to the program today, or prospective students of any kind, if they have questions for you, your office, or any of this academic portion of Northwest Community College, how do they get in touch?
Well, they can send me an email or a phone call. I can give my number, and it is 662-560-1136, or they can shoot me an email at krdavis@northwestms.edu.
I know we're getting ready for the Christmas holiday portion of things, a day or two off for you and the office and the rest of the campuses, and then boom, January, we kick it all back off. Although your work may never truthfully end, I know you get a little time and a break, and I hope you have a great holiday, and I thank you for the first visit.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. We look forward to our classes beginning on campus January the 12th for on campus, and online our classes begin January the 20th.
northwestms.edu. Let me send you there. northwestms.edu, and you can find out the information that you might need about any academic program, whatever it might be. You can still get in, register, do some things, and as she mentioned, January 12th, we'll get things back started in the classroom for Northwest. Kristin Davis joining us for the first time on the program, and we appreciate her. We will get into now, after a break with Dr. Straley, a little bit about our early college programs and more. But before I'm done, considering the fact that we're about to head into the break, and I'm going to let you listen to Home Free do a Christmas song. Home Free, of course, made their way through Senatobia and the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts in the last season. And there's a big season ready for you, and tickets available to see all kind of shows. The very first in 2026 will be on Sunday, January 18, the Grits and Glamour Tour. It has Pam Tillis, Lori Morgan, a lot of great hits between them. In fact, combined 28 top tens, more than 18 million records sold, 12 number one songs. They've won Grammys, CMAs. They've got all kinds of performances, whether it be Broadway, television. You get it. You know, if you have listened into the country music world and you've heard Pam Tillis, you've heard Lori Morgan. They're together in the Grits and Glamour Tour at the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts on Sunday, January 18. So here's what I will recommend for you. Maybe you're still looking for a Christmas gift for someone. And if you are, well, there are plenty of packages available for you to kind of pick and choose from. Different, possibilities for you, whether you want the lower orchestra, if you want to be up, you want to be on the balcony, all of those things are available. There are 6 packs where you can find for the spring 2026 season, and you get 6 events there. You can do a 3 flex package as well, so you can get all of that. Individuals, yeah, sure. You can pick out just the one that you think your person, or maybe even you yourself. Gift yourself a ticket. But it is the HeindelCenter.org. HeindelCenter.org. Check out all of the events. They're all there for you. So many things. We've talked about them throughout for the upcoming 2026 season. Ought to have a lot of great things for you to go and participate in. Just go give a look and go visit Heindel Center for the Performing Arts, HeindelCenter.org. Home Free takes us into the break. We'll come back. We'll talk again with Dr. Straley. So stay with us.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light.
Thanks for listening to the Bank First Ranger Hour, your connection to Northwest Mississippi Community College on SuperTalk Mississippi 93.7 and streaming live at supertalknorthms.com. Just click on the link for the Bank First Ranger Hour.
So we do want to thank first guest of the program, Kristin Davis, for talking with us about a lot of things in the classroom and then getting into Phi Theta Kappa with us as well. And now another new person to get a chance to speak with, and it is Dr. Suzanne Strehle, who joins the program. She's going to talk dual enrollment with us a little bit. But first of all, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing well this morning.
So what do you do, right? District Director of Early College Programs, is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, so tell us, how did you get to Northwest, and how long have you been with us?
I've been with Northwest about 11 years. I previously taught high school before I came to the college, and then when I first started at Northwest, I worked in our adult basic education department.
Excellent. Did you attend Northwest, perchance? A lot of the guests that I get have attended Northwest.
Right. I did not, but I grew up in a different area, but I did attend community college before I moved on to a university.
Excellent. So with that, before I actually now get you, see, I told you were going to say something that's going to toss a question to me, because we were talking with Kristen about the class sizes and how advantageous that can be. Obviously, financially, how that can help a person. How did community college shape you in your education and in your life?
Oh, goodness. For the better, for sure. It did. My my background, I was raised mostly by a single parent, so affordability was a huge consideration of going to community college first. But I also had some of the best instructors that I had during my college experience at the community college. So it gave me a great head start in my education. And like you said, the classroom size was perfect for somebody who didn't attend a very large high school to start there before going to a university that was overwhelming in size. It was a wonderful start to my college education.
Excellent. Now I'm excited to talk about this program with you, and that is dual enrollment. As a dad of two boys in the Oxford School District, and
Right.
they have some time before they get to this, but Dad's already thinking, right, and knowing the advantage of what they both can have by doing this. Dual enrollment. For those that are out there and are listening, moms and dads to this program, can you explain what we're talking about there first and foremost?
Yes. So dual enrollment provides opportunities for qualified high school students to simultaneously enroll in college while they're still in high school. And then those who successfully complete the courses will earn college credit. And for some of the courses, the high schools will also award a high school credit as well as us awarding the college credit. So it's a way for students to get a head start on earning credits towards their college degree. It saves them time and money. And then, in my opinion, most importantly, it prepares the high school student, for developing critical thinking skills and time management and study skills through the rigor of those college courses.
How can we, as parents here in this North Mississippi area, because I know, Northwest Community College has a district of 11 different counties, Super Talk 93.7 covers those. So if we've got parents now listening throughout this whole area, what's a process or what schools actually can we discuss?
Oh, goodness. Okay, so we serve, in our 11-county district, we serve 33 different high schools
Okay.
in the area. So the first course of action would be for the student or the parent, if they want to inquire, is to talk to the high school counselor and ask, does our school offer dual courses, and if so, what courses? It varies from high school to high school, so we have high schools that offer classes in person at the high school that are dual courses with a qualified instructor. We also offer them online, and then we also have students that opt to come to one of our campus locations to take classes as well. So it just varies from school to school. So starting with their high school counselor first to find out what their school offers is the best route. They are also welcome to call our office, and I can give you that information shortly if you need me to, but they can call our office, and we can help direct them as well.
Obviously, I know that the Lafayette Yellowbush Technical Center has this, and that you can get classes there through the schools that are in this area, but you said that they can go to other campuses as well?
Right. So our campus in Oxford, our campus in South Haven, or Senatobia, all offer classes to dual students.
Excellent. So once this is completed, what do we expect, right? Not only are you graduating high school, but you get the associate's degree, and how many transferable hours go along with this?
Well, if they're earning their full degree, around 60 hours if they're doing their associates. However, if they're not completing all of that, then they'll just take as many credits as they have earned. There is not necessarily a cap, I guess is what I'm trying to say, on the hours they can take. So that is dependent on the student, and then also on what courses their school may offer as well.
I've got you. So for a student, let's just say, a parent rather, because students at this point should be in their classes.
That's right.
where they are that we're talking about. But for a parent of, let's just say we've got a ninth grader, 10th grader, or our junior, and we're starting to think about that. Like, what grade point average should we be looking at? What other eligibility criteria are there for this program?
Yes. So for academic classes, the students can be a junior or a senior. They have to have a 3.0 GPA, and then they also have to obtain a letter of recommendation from either their counselor or an administrator at their school. But if they are not a junior or senior yet, there is an option that they can enroll earlier if they have a high school GPA of 3.0 and then a 30 composite score on their ACT, and then they still need the letter of recommendation as well.
Excellent. So that gives you parents some thoughts, right, and to what to be thinking about. Not that I'm saying I'm going to push to the boys, but there's no doubt I want them to know that this is available, and it's just to me, if they can walk out of their high school with that degree plus already in a college setting, because they will have to attend some in a college classroom, right? They can't just do everything online. They'll have to actually go to one of the campuses. Is that correct, or am I wrong there?
Well, most likely, but some students do the majority of their courses online. So it's really just dependent on the student and kind of where they are in life, as they go through.
Well, it may also show my age a little bit more, right? That I'm not thinking about the online stuff quite as much as that. So it is always, to me, exciting that, first when this was coming out, there were only a couple of high schools that were doing it here in this North Mississippi area. It sounds like we're getting more involved with our high schools and Northwest and this program. Is that correct?
That is very much correct. We have seen a 63% increase in the number of dual enrollment students over the last 5 years here at Northwest.
Excellent.
So it is. It's growing tremendously.
Anything else within your world we're supposed to talk about this morning, or is our first visit complete?
I think it's complete, but I would like to give you our department email address and a phone number, so if any parents or students are interested in calling and learning more, we will certainly be glad to help them.
Go ahead. Take it away.
Okay. So our department email address is dual, DUAL, at northwestms.edu, and then our phone number for our lead enrollment specialist of our department is 662-280-6216.
Dr. Straley, I really appreciate your visit this morning. I hope you have a good time away from work for just a little bit, a happy holidays, the new year. You know the picture, and then
Yes.
I'm sure we'll be talking in the next semester or year about more in dual enrollment, okay?
That sounds great. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you. And we do thank Dr. Straley for being with us and joining us and giving us some great information. Moms, dads listening out there, you're a great way to get your kid rolling, not just through high school, but into that associate degree world and ready for the four-year institution and have a lot of credit hours to throw in when you do so. All right, academic discussion there. If you missed any of this, whether it be some of that conversation with Dr. Straley or the earlier interview with Kristin Davis, later on today, anywhere that you find a podcast, you'll find the Bank First Ranger Hour. So we encourage you to do that in case you missed and you want to know a little bit more about what we were discussing today on the show. Look for Bank First Ranger Hour anywhere you find podcasts. To the athletic world we go, where Northwest Rodeo coach Will Loomis is back in the discussion, doing a great job leading the young men and women in his rodeo program at Northwest, continuing to build on that program and sending, individuals into the nationals in their collegiate world, while he himself continues to work on his craft, which is steer wrestling. And he is coming off of the championship rodeo in Las Vegas, where he earned the title as reserve world champion. He did so because throughout the season, he earned $334,833, and that put him about $10,000 more than the next guy. That's how you end up getting into these championships. The highlight of the last rodeo for Coach Loomis. It was the fourth round. He had the fastest time in that round when he threw the steer in 4 seconds. He was, for his career now, the 8th appearance in the NFR in his professional career, and he has finished as the reserve world champion 4 times in the last 5 years. Shout out Coach Loomis. Frequent guest on the program, talking about his Northwest Ranger Rodeo team and the things that they do. And we congratulate him on the coach part of it as well, and what he has done in the world of rodeo for Northwest, and then what he has done, obviously, individually as well. When you look at what the Ranger Rodeo team did throughout the season, the finishes much better and continuing to get better for the fall as they competed in a lot of different places in Missouri, Alabama a couple of times, Arkansas, Murray, Kentucky, things like that, plus having their own rodeo that we get a chance to talk about throughout. So congratulations, Coach Loomis. Now to basketball. Their season's at a pause, and both of them going out in winning ways, with the women's basketball team and Coach Laterra Williams winning 3 straight before this break. Now 8-4 overall, as their last game was actually on Monday the 8th. So they have had some time off after beating home 72-58. They will get back in action, the women's basketball team, same as the men, by playing Lawson State twice. The school out of Alabama will be in Senatobia on January 5th, where the women will play at 5:30 and the men will follow. And then 2 days later, they will be in Birmingham to take on Lawson State, both teams as well. Now, Coach Redmond and the guys have won 2 in a row and 4 out of 5 going into the Christmas break. They actually played on Monday of this week, hosting Meridian, and coming away with a 116-96 win over the Meridian Eagles. And so, so far, 9-4 on the season for the Northwest men, who are averaging, listen closely, 101.9 points per game. So if you want to see up and down the floor and basketball going in the hoop, Northwest men are doing it through their first 13 games, holding the opponent to 75.5. So they've had some high-flying, high-scoring games. The team shooting the 3 at a large clip, getting to the free throw line, and when you do that, it equals 101.9 per game. Wow. That might be setting an all-time high at Northwest for sure. But the men, 9-4, the women, 8-4, and both will be taking on Lawson State in their next 2 games coming up January 5th. So they get the layoff. They'll come back. They'll kind of get into the practice mode and roll again. And then soon after those 2 games from Lawson State, you get into the conference play when we just heard the January 12th date, right, for classes and sessions to begin. That's when they will actually open up with a conference set against East Mississippi. Nonetheless, really good pre-Christmas work by both the Lady Rangers and the Ranger basketball team. That's going to wrap up this version of the Bank First Ranger Hour. Again, you can get it in podcast form later on today, and we do appreciate you being around for this one. Thanks for being with us again. We'll do it tomorrow, talking sports. Hope you join us. Just stick around, too. Lots of good things still to go all day long on Super Talk 93.7. So long.
Now the time has come for leaving, fear now we shall return. We were so glad we could make it, but so sad.